Right now on Denver 7 News, former President Trump says release the warrant. As we learn, the FBI was looking for top secret documents about nuclear weapons.
Begs the question, what are you doing with those documents? Because it's not simply just to put them in a picture frame on a wall.
Plus, the founders of Denver's STAR program that sends counselors instead of cops to calls say they're getting pushed out.
Shutting down that meeting, the DDPHE personnel, proof that they don't care about our voices.
And before the Broncos kick off the preseason, look inside where the idea for Denver's football franchise was first hatched.
We are taking a tour of one of the most historic places in Denver, the Brown Palace Hotel, celebrating their 130th birthday today.
Thanks so much for joining us here on Denver 7 News at 11. I'm Jason Grenauer. It's been a war of words over the unprecedented FBI raid on former President Trump's Florida home, as new information comes out about the documents the FBI may have been searching for. Republican lawmakers are ratcheting up their scrutiny of how the warrant was ordered and carried out, while many Dems are defending it.
It is our job to ensure that they are not abusing their discretion or politicizing the powers that we have given them.
But it's pretty clear that they had information, likely from some source, that documents at Mar-a-Lago dealt with the most sensitive national security matters that the U.S. must guard very, very jealously.
Overnight, Trump himself announced he's encouraging the release of the warrant and the notes about what was taken from Mar-a-Lago. But it's still unclear how his attorneys will respond to a 1 o'clock deadline to object to those documents becoming public. ABC's Faith Abube has the latest.
New details about that unprecedented FBI search at former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate that has triggered an uproar from Trump and his allies. Multiple sources telling ABC News that the Justice Department and the FBI believed the former president was illegally holding on to sensitive documents with national security implications, even after the DOJ demanded they are returned through a subpoena back in the spring. The document said to include material marked special access, available to be viewed by only a small group of government officials with the highest security clearances. According to the Washington Post, among the classified material, documents related to nuclear weapons.
First, I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly.
Attorney General Merrick Garland, who was criticized for maintaining his silence after the raid, saying in light of the public interest after Trump publicly disclosed the search, he filed a motion for a judge to unseal the FBI's court-authorized search warrant and the receipt of the items agents seized. The filing signed by the chief of the counterintelligence section of the National Security Division, hinting at the national security implications of the documents. Sources tell ABC News, in addition to issuing a subpoena for Trump to return the highly sensitive documents, the DOJ also sent a small group of agents in June to ask for the material back before resorting to the search warrant.
Maybe this is the explanation for why they had to use these more intrusive means, that because they tried to subpoena it, they tried to get the documents, and they didn't get them.
Overnight, Trump saying he encourages the immediate release of the documents, even though his team received copies on Monday and could have released them at any time. And Trump has denied having any classified documents in his possession. National security experts say even if he claims to have declassified them, if the material is related to national defense, it could still be illegal for him to have it. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
New at 11, in a preliminary vote, House Democrats advanced the Inflation Reduction Bill about 30 minutes ago. Despite its name, the measure would have a negligible impact on inflation, but is the largest investment in climate policy in years. The $740 billion bill also increases corporate taxes and reduces costs on prescription drugs. Final passage is expected to happen around 1 o'clock our time, sending a major win to President Biden's desk. In about 2 hours, 5 former Aurora police officers and paramedics will be back in court for their alleged involvement in the 2019 death of Elijah McClain. The men were indicted on a combined 32 counts. Last month, attorneys for the 5 argued there was insufficient evidence to support criminal charges, but a judge ruled for the case to move forward. We'll let you know what happened tonight on Denver 7 News at 4. Members of the advisory committee for Denver's STAR program say they're being pushed out of the program that they helped launch. Star sends mental health counselors to non-threatening 911 calls in place of police and is run by Denver's public health department. It's hugely popular, and other cities have modeled their programs after the one in Denver. But over the past few months, committee members say some public health employees have cut the committee out of key decisions and abruptly ended a July Zoom meeting when they expressed their concerns.
We have heard that from 911 that Star is filling in for co-responder in cases where co-responder isn't available. And so Star, the team, is showing up alongside police.
This is not the way this is intended to be, to gain the necessary and appropriate trust with this community.
Now, we spoke with the Denver Department of Public Health, who said in part they will continue to work with the advisory committee to make sure Star stays in Denver for years to come. The man accused of killing 2 Castle Rock teens and hurting 2 others in a crash will be back in court in September. Yesterday, Ricky Avalos Trujillo learned the charges against him include vehicular homicide with a DUI modifier. The crash happened last Friday near the intersection of Territorial Road and the I-25 frontage road in Douglas County. Colton Bellamy and Audrey Todd were supposed to start their senior year this past Monday. They were killed on Friday. Maddie Tobler and another 17-year-old are still recovering from their injuries. Now, you can support their families. Meadows Express Car Wash is donating 100% of its revenue today and tomorrow. All the money is going to the families. The car wash is on Carnaby Lane in Castle Rock. And the group Dads of Castle Rock is hosting an all-you-can-eat pancake and sausage breakfast for $10 a person. It's from 8 a.m. to noon in the back parking lot of Castleview High School. The Boulder Road Runners are hosting the 2nd annual Terry Leiker Memorial Mile Fun Run tomorrow night. Leiker was among the 10 killed at the Table Mesa King Supers last year. She was a beloved store employee and a Special Olympics athlete in track and field and several other sports. That run starts at 7:30 at Centaurus High School in Lafayette. It's free and open to friends and family of Leiker. Anyone else can show their support and run or walk alongside the athletes. Taking a live look out at Empower Field, we'll see if all those training camp practices actually paid off. Game 1 of the Broncos preseason begins tomorrow. They host the Cowboys. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. And rumor has it the idea for the Broncos, the team itself, was hatched in another iconic Denver venue, the Brown Palace Hotel, which is celebrating its 130th birthday today. Denver 7's Danny New takes you inside.
Yes, today, the Brown Palace Hotel, one of the most historic places in Denver, and honestly, Colorado, turns 130. They have a special little exhibit for everybody to check out some artifacts that paint the rich history of this place. So when you walk in, what is the style that you're looking at here?
This is Italian Renaissance style with features like the Florentine arches on the mezzanine level, all the beautiful polished stone. This is a very rare shade of golden onyx from a quarry in Torreon, Old Mexico. And you know, ancient Roman villas were often built around an open center courtyard called an atrium. Our architect, Frank Edbrook, just took that idea 8 stories high. And you see open lobbies in hotels all over the place nowadays. By 1892, this was unprecedented. It became known as daylighting the interior space for that stained glass skylight, which is original, and it's all natural light that comes through.
There's no easy transition here to the next thing I want to talk about. I'm going to try Italian word for horse is cavallo, bronco. The Broncos may have been founded in this room.
Well, the conversation that led to the founding of that team did happen here at the Brown Palace, yes.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say, and I think it's real.
Some very interesting things to note there. Now, here's a close-up of that Broncos, their display in the lobby. So when you're tuning into our coverage of the game tomorrow, remember, it's all thanks to the Brown Palace. Well, next at 11, another wave of Colorado kids return to class next week, and we're equipping parents with tools to fight bullying.
I had things thrown at me, candy, pencils. In high school, it definitely got bigger, I would say. As time went on, I was actually physically pushed to the ground.
Families have options to fight back. We'll explain your legal resources next.